where I escape to quite often. Not that I need an escape. I'm Ted Bryant, Dave's dad. I'm pretty well known coast to coast, northeast, south, and west. Been to all 48 states and across the lower tier in Canada from Prince Edward Island to Vancouver, here and there. Been there and done that, I guess. Got creeping up towards 2 million miles on me, and most of the time doesn't seem possible that it's over. Not driving anymore. When you get old, nobody wants to even talk to you hardly. Anyway, many a story to be told. Dave shared a lot of those with me in my trips as a long haul trucker for many, many years. One comes to mind, a story about a waitress in a truck stop had served a trucker a cup of coffee, hamburger, piece of pie. And in a little while, before he got a chance to consume the goodies, 3 bikers pulled into the parking lot, parked their bikes, and come in like they owned the place. That's the way we bikers seem to impress people anyway. One of them raced around and grabbed his coffee. Another one followed by grabbing his hamburger. And the other one grabbed his piece of pie. And they were having a ball with it. And in a minute, the trucker looked around and sized the situation up. He went out, got in his truck, and left. So they said to the waitress, I guess he wasn't much of a man. He's a trucker, but he wasn't much of a man, was he? She nonchalantly looked out the window and said, I guess you might be right. He just left, but he ran over 3 motorcycles in the process. So you have to kind of decide who won that argument. Anyway, there's many a story to be told. I guess I could spend 50 years telling you about everything that happened on a daily basis. Boils down to what I wanted to say was I miss being out there, but I've graduated into motorcycles. That gives me the freedom and satisfies my wanderlust, which will be with me as long as I live. And I'm happy with that. But at one point, Dave and I and one of the other boys went to a big truck show in Louisville, Kentucky. And the grand door prize there was a brand new Kenworth, and they named it Paradise on Wheels. And it had just about every option that was ever offered by Kenworth Motor. And it was a beauty. And it was won that day by a young man from northern Maine. To make a long story short, a few years later, Dave happened to be in a scrapyard, salvage yard for trucks, and he spied Paradise on Wheels, and he could not resist. He had to buy what was left of that truck. Hard to recognize it now except for the paint job. But Dave is in the process of putting that thing all back together and restoring it on a different chassis that would change the classification. But anyway, we wish him all kinds of luck, and hopefully he'll get the support he needs to finish the restoration project. And so I guess that's probably basically the message I'm trying to get across today. is if you can find a way, get to see Paradise on Wheels and help support Dave's hobby, adventure, and venture. He'd appreciate it, and I would too. So long.